So yeah, like I was saying, like love can be really beautiful. You know, it can be a real beautiful thing. Two people working, like I was saying, in harmony and in you know, together in unity and on the same frequency, and both committed to each other and committed to making their relationship work, and being honest and transparent, having good communication, having trust, having loyalty, having, you know, all these different factors and things that are important that make up a good relationship. You know. It takes a lot of hard work, you know. It does take work, especially as the older the relationship gets and the more it progresses, the more work I think it takes. If you see what I mean, you know, you got to keep the kind of the love there and the spark. You're trying to keep the spark alive and keep the love there, and you know, etc. You know, just you know, you know. Sometimes as years go by, people become a bit complacent and people don't make as much effort anymore towards each other. You know, sometimes both from both ends. You know, both from the man and from the woman. You know. So yeah, I think it's just about being conscious about these things, to be, you know, still make efforts, still have, you know, still do things, still take your missus out for a date. You know what I mean? You might be married for 10 years, you know what I mean, and got kids, but yeah, every now and again surprise her, be spontaneous, take her out for a meal, take her out somewhere, you know, also do family things as well, obviously together as a family with your wife and kids, but it's nice to also do something sometimes too, you know, with just your wife too, because obviously not only are you parents, but you're also a couple, you're married, so you need time together for each other too, if you see what I mean, you know. So remembering all these things are important too. You know, it is hard, especially as we know everyone's so busy today. We all live very busy lifestyles, very hectic, very got a lot of us. Not all of us, but a lot of us. Most people got a lot of pressure. You know, they're trying to juggle everything, trying to balance everything. You know, multiple things: work, businesses, family, kids, everything. You know,
not everyone's married. Not everyone's got children. Do you know what I mean?
True.
You know, like I say, there are people with different circumstances.
Oh, for sure.
Do you know what I mean?
For sure. I mean, there are a lot of people.
Some people don't want to get married. Do you know what I mean? They just have children and they don't get married. They don't believe in it anymore.
Yeah, true.
You know, and I wish
it is becoming more like that.
I personally feel the same about it. Do you know what I mean? Because I think, like, you know, I was happy, very happy with, you know, year after year.
Yeah.
My way of looking at love, you know, I mean, when I first met my ex-wife,
yeah,
the first year, you know, it's mostly sort of sex that first year, you know, and kissing a lot, you know, and you know, getting to know her. You know, in the second year, more attachment, you know, I loved her more the second year, you know. Third year, you know, we had a baby together, you know, and it got stronger to me, you know. And it just got stronger and stronger for me, okay, but not for her. You know, she kind of like lost it for some reason, you know, I don't know why, but that happens. You know, in this day and age it does, especially, you know, like I said, my ex-wife was on the internet, you know, and if I didn't get the internet, she wouldn't have been able to do that one.
Yeah.
Whatever, you know. So, I think everyone's situation's a bit different, you know, they're divorced for different reasons, you know, but I think money was the main one.
Main factor.
I want bringing home enough money. And again, you know, I'm a person that's never liked cars. And she wanted a man that wanted, you know, that was a driver, do you know what I mean? Yeah? That kind of man, you know?
Yeah.
I'm not that kind of man, do you know what I mean? You know, I'm different to that kind of man, you know?
Yeah.
So, you know, I've always been an insect lover, do you know what I mean? So, how can I drive a car? How can I? How can I? You know, I can't change, can I? Can I? You know, I wish I could in the kind of way, but I can't. You know, if you fall in love with insects, you'd have the same, you know, understanding as I am, as I've got. If you see what I mean. You know, like I said, there's not many birds flying about today. Do you know what I mean? And it's a bit sad. You know, and it is. You think about how many cars, you know, how many birds hit cars every day. Do you know what I mean? It's, you know, it's sad.
Yeah.
I don't think, like, I'm not digging at people that drive cars, right? Because I don't, you know. You know, I can understand them loving cars, you know. They are very useful, they keep you dry, and they get you to work, you know, and all that kind of stuff, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And, you know, I can understand it, you know, in a kind of way where people do like their cars, you know, and they're very, very important, you know, but, you know, if we want to live in that kind of world we're not going to have any birds left, you know what I mean, eventually, do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
We're not going to have any, you know, no beetles,
Mm.
they're all gone,
Yeah.
you know, and that's, you know, as I say, I don't think, you can't be compassionate, really, if you drive, I don't think. You know, you have to lose your compassion to drive in a funny way, you know, and you know, like, how many people drive in the world? 50%? Would you say? 50%?
More than that.
I don't know.
I'd probably say more than that.
You know, so...
I'd probably say about 70% maybe. About 70%.
I wouldn't say that many, because, you know,
maybe
like
65, maybe 65.
You know, I look at, like, people, I think, like, a lot of people don't drive, you know, like my mum, she couldn't drive.
They estimate there's about close to 9 billion people today. So just on a rough estimation, I would say probably...
So I'd say less than half.
I'd say probably about, maybe,
you're right actually. You've got children, you've got old people.
And old people, so probably about 3 billion.
Yeah.
Maybe about 3 billion. Let's say maybe 3 billion out of 9. Maybe a third. Maybe a third, maybe.
Yeah, you know, so, you know, like, look, you got to imagine if cars were not invented. You know, what would the world be like now? You know, if we didn't invent the motor engine, basically, you know what I mean?
Well, exactly. We wouldn't. Yeah, a lot of things wouldn't exist if we hadn't created the motor engine.
That's right. You know, you know, today we would be living in a completely different world. I personally think it'd be more friendly. You know, personally, I think a lot of people that do drive, they get very angry quickly, very nasty, very unnatural.
Yeah.
You know, it's like when you had no sleep. I mean, you get very angry. You know, like a lot of people do get tired at the wheel. You know.
Yeah.
Driving long hours, whatever. You know,
yeah.
They become even more dangerous when they, you know, when they're tired. As I say, I think they've changed our world into a very dangerous place.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that's that. You know, even the children are got to watch where they're going when they're crossing the road. You know, and they've got to learn the highway code now. You know. Yeah. You know, you think like this is all new, all this, you know, like we're only over 100 years old, you know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, so, you know, I think like it's changed our world into a different angle in a kind of way, you know, and a lot of people really, really lost their compassion today, you know, and yeah, what can I say?
Yeah, it's true. The world needs more love again, you know. We need to get back to a point where people are just, you know, like we always say, you know, we've got to get back to the point where we remind each other that we're all human, you know, we all part of the human race, no matter what you look like, no matter your age or your race or your religion or your social status or your financial situation or whatever the case may be, you know, we need to stop allowing these people to use different things to divide us, you know, and show more love to each other, you know. That's why even when I meet people, and every day, whoever I meet or I deal with, mate, I deal with them on a level of love, mate, you know what I mean, on a respect level, like, you know what I mean, I'm polite, I'm respectful, and I'm, you know what I mean, if you see what I mean, like, I deal with everyone like that, you know, and I think when you kind of give that love, you know, people, you know, it usually most times it gets reciprocated because people appreciate it, you know, because it's not as common as it used to be, if you see what I mean, like, you know, if you see what I mean, you know. And I think it's just about showing love, you know, just letting people know, especially the people that mean the most to you, you know, especially like the people that, you know, you love, all your loved ones, you know, your family and your loved ones and your friends that you really love and you care about and, you know, you've got good relationships with. It's important to show these people love and, you know, to just be, you know, compassionate and, like you said, empathetic towards each other, you know, just to help each other and, you know, work together, you know, not, you know, there's no need for confrontation, no need for violence, no need for, you know, especially as an adult, you know, especially as of a certain age, right, as well as an adult, you know, you should be able to have a conversation, even if you disagree on something or whatever the case may be, you should be able to have a conversation, you know, and, you know, and just deal with it that way, you know, there's no need for, you know, so I think the world just needs a bit more love, you know, people, you know, And I think there are a lot of people out there that are helping towards the cause, that are spreading that message today. You know, especially a lot of the younger people. You know, now we need to forget about all this shit that they used to divide us and try to, you know, keep us at odds with each other. You know, instead of focusing on the real problems and the ones that really cause the problems. If you see what I mean. So yeah, you know, we need to. You know, even my wife, like, even I said to my wife the other day, we were having a conversation, and we were having a conversation about something, and I just said to her, listen, love, like, I personally operate out of a place of love, if you see what I mean, you know, I haven't got any hatred towards anyone or anything, you know what I mean, you know, I try my best to be the best human being that I can kind of be, if you see what I mean, and you know, like I said just now, be respectful and loving and polite and peaceful, if you see what I mean, you know, and you know.
Well, love, really, when you think about it, is actually strength.
Yeah, for sure.
You know,
sure.
it is. I mean,
there's no ill intentions, if you see what I mean. When you got a good heart, and you're almost not pure, because no one's completely pure, but you get what I'm saying when I say pure. You've got pure intention, you've got a good heart. You know, it brings good karma. You know, don't do wrong to people. You know, don't do wrong by people. Don't steal from people. Don't, you know, try your best not to ever lie to people. Try to be as honest as possible. You know, just try to treat people the same way that you would want anyone to treat you, or respect you, or be honest with you, or respectful, whatever. Then be the same towards people. You know, it's a two-way street, as they say. You know, things don't just work. You know, it's, you know.
When you lie, you're failure to yourself, basically.
Yeah. Essentially.
Yeah, but when you do something wrong, really, you're failure to yourself, but in a way, you know. So it's really important to love yourself, and some people actually love themselves too much.
Yeah, too much.
Where they love themselves, but they don't love anyone else. You see.
Very prideful.
Yeah, all they do is care about themselves. Do you know what I mean? You know, and I've seen those kind of people quite a lot. You know, and those kind of people need to learn how to love other people.
Yeah.
You know, they're arrogant in a kind of way, and they just sort of like
see themselves as like superior. To
they think they got crowns on their heads. You know, they're wearing crowns.
I know quite a few people like that, and sometimes I used to know a couple of people like that too, and I used to say to them, listen, you need to I always remind people humility. Humility is the key. Yeah, humility will get you a long way. No matter, even if you're one of the richest people in the world, yeah, being humble, yeah. And being just, like I said earlier, again, I'll reiterate it, just being loving and kind and etc. towards people, yeah? People will appreciate it, it will resonate with people. And also, sometimes it even diffuses situations. You might walk into a room and there might be tension in the room, you know what I mean? Something might happen, there might be an argument, or something might have happened, or you know, whatever the case may be, because we've all experienced that before, where we've walked into a situation or a different environment or scenario or something, there's been something that's happening, you can kind of feel the tension in the air. But by being a certain way and conducting yourself in a certain way and your demeanour in a certain way, you can diffuse situations and you know, bring light to kind of, you know, to the people and to the room, kind of, if you see what I mean, you know. So yeah, and bring a good energy, I guess is what I'm trying to say, you know. So yeah, love is so important, you know. And I hope that, you know, that people, like you said earlier, it's so important. I think people learn how to love properly again today and stop being, you know, misled by all these false narratives today, you know, about how relationships are supposed to work, you know. It's a 50-50, you know, well, not even a 50-50 thing, it's 100-100. Both people are supposed to be contributing 100% to the relationship, if you see what I mean. They're both supposed to be committed to each other, looking after each other, making sure they've got each other's back through thick and thin in every situation, you know, working as a team, you know, with everything, you know. And that's what's most important, you know, having good bonds and, you know, and, you know, yeah.
I don't think you necessarily have to be boring in life, yeah. So have a good life, yeah, until you die, get old and die. To get married, to have a good life, do you know what I mean? Don't even have to have children, you know what I mean?
True.
There are some people that live like that, like, for instance, monks.
Yeah.
Right, you know, like, I know some Buddhist monks, whatever, yeah.
Yeah.
They become a Buddhist monk at a very young child, you know what I mean? And
Yeah.
they live completely different to
Take
society.
a
Not allowed to get married.
vow of abstinence and stuff.
Yeah, exactly, you know.
Mm,
So there are, you know, and they enjoy their life living like that
Yeah.
completely, you know.
Yeah, facts.
You know, but yeah, I mean, it's not necessarily. I think like true love really is basically
Loving
learning to love yourself.
yourself, yeah.
You know, not and learning to love others as well.
Yeah, the combination, facts.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, like I said, there are people that love themselves, but they've not learned to love others.
Yeah, but you have to love yourself too, like you said, it is important.
Or there are some people like myself, for instance. I used to love others and everything else, but I didn't love myself.
You love yourself, yeah.
You know what I mean? You get people like that.
And I used to be like that to a degree too. I used to overextend myself too much to people, if you see what I mean. I used to try to help as many people as I could, but I realised that I was overextending myself to the point that I just had to reduce it, if you see what I mean. I was burnt out. I realised that the love that I was showing wasn't being reciprocated, if you see what I mean. It was kind of a one-way street. So sometimes that's why, like even today, like the only true people that I've only got like the amount of people that I can call a friend today outside of, you know what I mean, obviously outside of my family and everything else, is I can count them on one hand. The amount of people that is, if you see what I mean.
Well, I'm pleased about that actually.
So it's if you see what I mean.
I think you can only love so many people.
You got to know who is real, who is a true friend, someone that you know. If shit hits the fan, you can ring them up and say, oh, "Listen, mate, I'm really sorry to have to ask, but you know, yada yada yada, you know," and you know that person's got your back. If they can help you, they will. If you see what I mean, you know, and that's that's how people, that's how it should be in my perspective. You know, it's people need to learn to work together. You know, we're all on this earth trying to survive and go through the same shit together. We're all experiencing life together, and all overcoming all the obstacles and navigating through life, and trying to enjoy life and get on with it. You know, so we're all in it together, as they like to say, as these people that like to say, but it is true in that sense. We are all in it together. So.
Yeah, love is a funny thing. Love is a funny thing.
And people you can love all sorts of things. I love music. If you see what I mean. Or there's people out there like you said, we've all got.
Or you can fall in love with a person, like you're singing the music in a kind of way.
And that happens too. You get a lot of people that become real
idol.
Fanatics and shit. Over. So yeah, you can love all sorts of things, it depends on, it doesn't have to be a person too, people love their animals. There's a lot of people that got cats and dogs, and some people got horses even, and other things, and they love their animals, and people, like you said, people that love sports, people that, that's almost their whole existence revolves around their favourite kind of sports team, and
some people collect things.
That's what they're passionate about and they love.
Some people like collecting stamps.
True, true.
Or collecting whatever, and they do it most of their lives as well, do you know what I mean?
Yeah, it's true.
So love is a tricky thing, and I think, like as I say, today, in our world, I think people have lost love in a kind of way, or got confused, or not being taught love, or all kinds of things out there really. A lot of people don't even know what love is. Or some people have been through a relationship, they did fall in love, whatever, but then they got hurt, and they don't want a relationship again because they don't want to get hurt again.
They give up.
Well, they just don't want to get hurt again, do you know what I mean? They just rather be on their own, do you know what I mean? And some people get very, very lonely, because they, like me, or I live alone. I have done for a number of years now.
Yeah.
I see you occasionally, and that's about it really, But I'm very happy living alone now.
Yeah.
After being married for so long.
Yeah.
And quite hard work, as I say, and I'm glad that's kind of over, and I can put my feet up now, in a kind of way, I don't get lonely because I feel like I love, the trees and everything in a funny way.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
You know, I don't. How can you get lonely when you're in love with everything in a kind of way? You know, which I am. You know, like I'm not. You know, I don't like everything. Like I told you, I don't like all these cars everywhere. Okay, but and the people driving them. You know, like for instance, you know, like I love some people that drive cars. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. I forgive them in a kind of way for what they do. Do you know what I mean? I have to.
Yeah.
You know, but I wish. You know. I wish everybody was more like me, you know. And I think we'd really, you know, personally, I think we'd live in a better world, really, if we, you know, I look at cars more dangerous than guns, and that's the truth, you know. They're a lot bigger for one, and they can do a lot more damage, do you know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah.
You know, they do, as you know. You know, so, you know, I question why they don't let us have guns, but they let you have cars, you know?
Yeah. A lot of these things, anything can be kind of used as a weapon today, can't it, really?
But people love entertainment, as we say. They love cricket, they love football.
Yeah.
And because of all this distractions, they're forgetting to love themselves.
Yeah.
It's simple. It's true. You know, people need to focus on the moment.
Yeah.
Focus on themselves.
Bettering themselves.
Well, I mean, I feel like I've got quite a big imagination. Right, it's not the biggest in the world, okay, but it's lovely, and it surrounds me, yeah, all the time. Whatever your imagination, it surrounds you, and your imagination's a bit different than mine. We all got a different imagination, by the way, you know. And what is the imagination? Memories. That's what it is. It's all memories. It's your memory, completely your life, you know. So your life, your memory is completely different. Your imagination's different than mine a little bit, you know.
Yeah.
But like I say, we do share the same memories, like, you know, like on the news and all that, you know, like these disasters and all that, you know, they're collective memories, you know. But I say imagination, right, it's beautiful, you know, and I feel like if you've got a beautiful, big imagination, really, you know, you never get bored.